honestly, if you were to ask him, and he probably wouldn't say anything, but if you were to ask him, he would like he's super quiet, but he'd probably just tell you my whole game. And I know it sounds super cliche, but like if you really dive deep down into like the consistency of my game, there's different things that I got to work on, the strengths, the weaknesses, and you know, you just want to elevate, you know, and elevate the team. So as much as I can, just to be more of a leader in our room. It's weird because I'm still young and like younger in the room, so trying to gain that respect and stuff as much as I can, just to be a guy for us. So.
Talanoa was kind of a quick rise last year for your first year as a starter to All-Pro. When you reflect back on last season, what are the things that you took away from it?
You know, I was just grateful, you know, for the opportunity just to showcase my talents. At the end of the day, I just want to be the best version of myself, and that has to be more consistent. And so, better eyes, better consistency throughout my play, and just go out there and be better of a team leader. I think that my thing is I'm really loud and talkative on the field as they want me to be, but you know, be better in the classroom for everybody else to be more of a teacher too. So anytime you can teach and lend a hand, I think it helps yourself as well. So if I can do that, kind of elevate everybody else around us as well. So.
Are you doing that teaching aspect with Jair Brown, and what did you see from him in the spring, and what kind of things have you shared with him in your experience?
Yeah, no, he's first off, tremendous guy. Just in the locker room, I think his presence is, you know, like I said, I think I'm even younger than him, so it's kind of weird, like trying to talk to him. But a guy that comes in just kind of with his mentality, his maturity, really right there where it needs to be. Very rangy, I say, like as a safety, you know, getting to watch him, just the way he can. That's why you bring a guy like him into our locker room. I'm trying as much as I can bring him along, but I think that's, you know, a really unique opportunity for Gibb as well. You know, I was able to go under Gibb's wing last year, and kind of for Deshaun just to kind of take him too, because that's, you know, those are guys that, you know, I don't know. As a younger safety, you want to lean on a vet like that that's been through a lot. You know, he has 30+ interceptions in his career, so. Very grateful to have him in our locker room as well.
Jair had 10 the last 2 years in college, and supposedly he had a ton of OTAs, but they happened on days that we weren't there, I think most of them. What were those interceptions like? Are those instinct interceptions? Is that something that he just has seemed to carry over to this level?
Yeah, you know, just watching his game is very, you know, he's on point with his stuff. His communication, he's learning really quick, and I think, like I said, when it comes back to the maturity, it's his confidence on the field. And I think that plays a big role. You know, if you go out there and you're timid, you're not going to make the plays that you want to make. And so watching a guy like Tig, or Jair, sorry, but Tig doing his thing, he really is falling into that role perfectly. So he's going to make his plays, for sure.
What did you learn last year about trying to strike the right balance between being a playmaker back there and sort of protecting against, you know, giving up big play? How difficult a balance is that, and what did you learn?
You know, for me, it's just everybody goes through adversity. You know, whether it's injuries, whether it's not getting tests right if you're in college, you know, goes through those different things. So for me, it was just balancing through that. You know, I made my great plays, and I missed a lot of plays too. So for me, just balancing them ahead, like I said, I just got to be more consistent. So just got to continue to work on that, and hopefully my teammates can help me with that as well.
Talanoa, Steve Wilks obviously has an experience in the secondary. What does he bring to your guys' secondary this year?
A lot of knowledge. I say that. You know, being in the secondary room with him, it's different because I don't think I've been in a room with a defensive coordinator in a secondary room. So it was really unique, and it was really cool for me during OTAs, being able to establish like a routine with him and understanding like I can ask him any questions back there and really get feedback immediately. You know, you don't have to go through a couple guys just to get to a coach. So for me, that was like a pretty cool opportunity. Just seeing the knowledge that he brings to the game is like unbelievable. So just very blessed with it.
It seems like he's really hands-on, you know, on the field. What was your impression of that, and just the way he makes corrections as practice is going?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. You know, he has such for a guy like him to come in just to bring his energy. It's like he makes us run. If you get a pick, you know, you got to finish in the end zone. And a guy like him, he's just running all around the field. I'm like, man, chill out. You good? But having him, it's been awesome.
It seemed like D'Amico really trusted you. Now you're learning, getting to know a new defensive coordinator. What's it like building that trust in the offseason now?
Well, you got when you build that, you gotta be on point. You know, first one in, last one out type stuff, and just being consistent. And that's how it's the biggest message I try to get across is like that's what he pushes for too. So it's accountability, commitment, and trust, and being consistent each and every day. And so when you can do that, then it's all gonna build together for sure.
Talanoa, your first two seasons, the way the seasons have been for your team have been painful. What is your sense of, I guess, whatever impact that's had on players? Is it just more of a source of motivation?
Yeah, I think the way our last two seasons ended is it leaves a taste in your mouth, but it just makes you hungry. I think all the guys in our locker room believe and know that what we can accomplish when we get to that next step. You know, get to that last game of the year, and you know if we can do that, you know, great things will happen. So.
Jimmy Ward was a guy that had
That's
a lot
right.
of influence in the secondary and had been here for quite a while. Is it up to you to be one of the guys that steps into that leadership role? Is that what you were talking about earlier? I mean, you got to be yourself and he's him, but you have to do a little bit more in that regard.
Yeah, I think I can step up as much as I can, and as much as guys allow me to. You know, Jimmy had that presence in our locker room and on the field. Just a great guy, and for him to move on, I think it's a lot. Everybody understands. I think everybody's kind of elevating their game, their style, their presence. So it's not just the older guys that lead, you know. And we had a lot of vets last year, like E-Man, Dante, and JV. I think all those guys really like were able to put out really good stuff for us. And so for us, I think, you know, having Gibb, having Mooney, Demo, we're all slowly rising, and new guys come in as well. And so I think we're all just gonna take what we've learned and put it together, and hopefully great things will happen.
All right, thanks, Hub.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.